All right, so I'm back. I took a break from making some of these videos because at around week 4, I popped a hip while squatting on a Sunday, and that kind of set me into a mental, I don't know, just kind of not wanting to give too much of a shit about making these videos, to be honest with you, and just kind of concentrate on figuring out what's going on with my hip. And then a couple of weeks later, which I got a video lined up right after this, I tore my pec in 4 spots, overloading on bench. And then the wheels came off the last 3 weeks of training where I kind of had to basically just not back out of the meet. Thanks to my wife, because I was at the point of I can't squat because my hips bother me. I couldn't squat because I couldn't get my arm under the bar because there was so much swelling from the pec tear. And then obviously I could barely bench. And the pec, the left one, is also my out arm for deadlifts. And I still can't really turn my arm very comfortably. So I um, was ready to just say, fuck it. Go out there, hang out with some friends, help them lift, do all that stuff, have a good time in Vegas. And my wife was adamant, and I'm very thankful. She was adamant to say, no, get your body right and do what you can. And I really needed to hear that from her. She's my biggest supporter uh, in all this. Obviously, with the amount of money I've spent in this sport over the 18 years I've been doing it, I couldn't do any of it without her. So thanks to her, I still went out there and I had a pretty damn good day and proved to myself that I'm still at an elite level, even though my numbers don't show that yet. Probably in the next year or so, I can prove that numbers wise. But um, I just wanted to kind of give a reason why I stopped making the videos. I just mentally, I didn't have it. Training was going okay, but once you kind of start lining up injury after injury after injury, I didn't have it, and I didn't want to kind of just put out the videos where I'm just kind of bullshitting everything and just kind of half-assing it. That's not really why I'm doing these things. So I'm going to get into the first video right here. This was a reverse uh, reverse band bench of 529, and this was my ego screwing me, in my opinion, having thought about everything. The plan for the meet was to hit around 474. That's what I really, really felt I can hit. The way in training 440 was just moving easy, easy, easy. And I really wanted to push the overload work. So when I had the 474 in my hands, it would have felt like nothing. So I'm going to play that video. I'll speak on it a little bit and I'll come back on the other side. All right, so here's the bench where I tore my pec out of the mono arms. I've been self-handing out everything, and right about there is where it popped. About 4 different spots, and you can see my legs jump in, and that one really hurt. I was internally just on fire for about 5 minutes. Here's a little bit of the swelling after 5 days, but it got way worse after about a week, and it's still here now, almost 4 weeks later. All right, so you saw the pec tear, you saw the little bit of bruising. Up to this point, my AC joint in my left shoulder had been back. Back in October, I got the cortisone shot, and everything felt good, and I did the December meet. The plan was then to go in and get that shoulder cleaned out, the AC joint. I had it done to my right, like I said before, and it's worked great since. Well, now I got shoulder surgery scheduled for the 20th of May. So I think the reason why I kind of tore the pec too, because I'd really been favoring that side anyways. I'm surprised I didn't blow off the right pec, probably because, I'm using so much more right to push or whatever. But So there's going to be quite a bit of layoff after this meet now. And I kind of knew it a couple of weeks into this meet prep that I was going to have to get this surgery, which kind of sucks. But the reason I started self-handing out, because I was able to honestly not aggravate my shoulder benching by picking the weight myself. I kind of had figured out a way to do it. And I even did it in a meet. You'll see here I picked all three of my weights, which the top weight was only 369 for the day, having torn my pec 3 to 4 weeks earlier. And I taught myself in just a couple of weeks, even though I've done it before, is I pulled hook grip in this meet as well, just to kind of take everything off of my shoulder and my pec, because I wanted to do the best that I could. And I only missed one lift all day. That was my last deadlift of 650. Actually, the only red lights I got all day, which is kind of cool. Excuse me. So I'm going to play the videos right now, all 9 of them, and enjoy. You get to see an old man all busted up, kind of out there doing work. Do work, son. So I'm going to play those right now. Enjoy them, and I'll talk to you on the other side of those. All right, so there's one of my training partners, Don, or he also goes by Dom with an M. He helped me all day long. He helped everybody. He helped Gary. He helped Rob. He helped Jeff. We all went out there to compete in this meet. And Don was awesome. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does. He's a great training partner, great lifter himself. He wasn't ready for this meet, even though he was in it initially, but he was also having some shoulder problems, but he got them fixed. Opening squat, piece of cake, 240 kg. Went into my second. I like to make big jumps. I always say the meet is 6 lifts. The first attempt on all of them are my last warm-ups. So I think I went to 600 here. And the mono is a little bit different. It's a little wobbly, but you gotta be a professional and adapt to that stuff on meet day. And no excuses. Sat down in the hole nicely. This spotting and loading team was fantastic. I tell you what, I didn't give a flying shit about any of the weight on my back, because I knew if anything were to happen, anything goes sideways, those guys got you. They're going to be safe. I don't know their names, but they are a solid crew. I watch a lot of meets with them, and they do a really, really good job. This was 639. 650 would have been nice, but if you could kind of see in here, my left shoulder, the bar kind of dips. I'm having a hard time getting my shoulder to get tight under that bar. See, it's getting looser and kind of downward, but all whites, what I wanted. Here's the first bench. I opened at 270. Again, self handout here. I really kind of like this bench setup because I kind of hang my head off of the back of the bench in the garage here. But this bench was really long. And it's a little bit shorter than I'm used to, but I kind of taught myself not as much leg drive on these things. But that flew like an empty bar. Just trying to load my lats with everything. Trying not to get my pecs involved with any of this for any of these benches, because I don't want anything to go wrong or any more setbacks. Even though I get surgery in 2 weeks, I want to be moving forward. I can't remember the weight on this one. I think this was 150 kg. I don't even remember. 330 maybe, 329, something like that. Trying to load the lats, and then drop it as quickly as possible, because the slower I go, the more I'm going to load it into my pecs, and I do not want to do that at all. Again, move really, really good, all whites. Barely any leg drive. Give me a little bit of the buns. I know you all love it. That guy, Keith, right there, the dude that came out after me, was a big help too. He trains at and coaches at my buddy's gym out in San Diego, Ironmongers. Shout out to Keith. He was a big help all day, helping in the warm-up room, running the mono. But here's a nice 370. I got a little weird on bringing it out, but dropped it, loaded lats, and boom. I probably could have had 4, but why test it right now? 370 with a healing pec is well worth it for me. Opening deadlift, I think I went 545, 245 kilo, somewhere in there, just to kind of make sure I know what the hell I'm doing with this hook grip. I got some of that liquid chalk. That stuff is fantastic. First time ever using that. Deadlift move very good. Very happy with that. And this one kind of opened up my thumbs a little bit, and I told myself if I was going to open up my thumbs at all, I would switch for my third attempt back to the over-under grip just for my third. And this moved really well. I thought my next attempt would be there for sure. But I stuck with the hook grip. You know, finish with what you start with. They had you walk down the center aisle there. I gave my wife a kiss, but it didn't get on camera, which kind of sucked. So I do my little, tighten my lats, tighten my glutes, get a little blood flow, and get down to the bar. Try to set the hook in the best I could, even though my thumbs are already cut. And you'll see right there it is. Yeah, it was done. It's kind of a bummer, but what are you going to do? All right, so all in all, I think I totaled 1549. I weighed in at 304, which is lighter than my last meet. Thank God. Don't want to be a super heavyweight. I did okay. Met some pretty cool lifters out there. Dr. Seth Albertsworth was out there. He hit some huge squats. Met a kid named Tyler. I don't know where he's from, but this kid is as tall as the Eiffel Tower and pulling in the 880s, which was a lot of fun to watch. Met Keith from Ironmongers. It was a fun day and had a good time on the platform. The warm-up area was a bit too small. I ended up having to roll out and stretch out in the parking lot, which is not fun. The monos in the warm-up room were okay, but you know, I don't take a ton of warm-ups anyway for any of the lifts. Usually you're just kind of running on adrenaline and all that shit. So, you know, just kind of make sure your hips feel good, your knees are tracking the right way. And on the bench, you kind of get a good feel for how you're going to bring the bar out on the bench. For me, it's where my head placement is and where I hold my feet under the bar, shit like that. First time using the Kabuki bar, didn't really notice a big difference to me as compared to my normal Texas deadlift bar. It was about as whippy. It was gnarly as shit. That's probably why I cut my fingers so bad. But my thumbs are extreme virgins to hook grip. I think I had one session practicing hook grip, so I'll get better at that shit moving forward because I think I'm going to commit. I'm going to have to commit. I don't want to go through another fucking prep and then tear a fucking bicep off. A friend just did that this week, and it just fucking sucks because his prep was going great. So to try to minimize as many torn muscles, which I've done 7 times now in 18 years, which I guess mathematically is not that bad. I just don't want to go through that fucking shit. If I can minimize it by learning hook, and everybody who ends up doing it does it really, really well. I'm going to start, paying attention, learn the tricks of the trade, because I've torn my bicep once, but it didn't detach. But I know it's weakened, and I don't want to fucking live that life of 8-month recovery. At my age, I might as well just hang it up then, which I probably would if I got to. No, I probably wouldn't. I love this shit too much, but still, why slow everything down? So that's my meet prep or meet day. Wasn't so bad, but this will probably be a long time before I compete again to get my shoulder fixed and take some time to get my cardiovascular better. I got to be better. I got to be able to do more work in a gym to be able to perform better on the platform and kind of think I got away from that a little bit this slash off season into the meat prep. So got a lot of work to do, as you always say. But it was the day I expected. Actually, it was better than expected. So a lot of people like to write, "Oh, didn't have the meat day I wanted." Well, nobody does. Everybody wants a total way more than they get. Well, I took exactly what my body was going to give me that day, and I came out of it unscathed and better. And I had some fucking fun with my friends and family out in Vegas. So until next time, that's all I got. See y'all later.